Hi, my name is Sophie Moniz, and I'm representing the Green Girls from T.C. Williams High School in Alexandria, Virginia. I'm going to start off by saying that I'm not the best public speaker. I'm not even the second best public speaker, and I may not even be the third best public speaker. But what I am is passionate about what I did throughout the month of October. So Alexandria, Virginia, that's where I'm from, and especially my neighborhood in Delray, is kind of like a utopian society. I mean, we have street festivals and we have fairs and we have rock concerts in the street. But with all the great things that my city has to offer, we lack in inspiration for leading in the green movement. And my main goal from PGC was to make us aware of our actions and become a leader in the global movement towards sustainability. So what pops into your head when you think of the Earth? Is it this? Or maybe this? Or is it something like this? Because that's what I think of. We breathe chemicals every day. We eat food that may kill us, and we destroy our resources that keep us alive. So what are we going to do? That's where PGC came in. So I learned about Project Green Challenge from my friend Bridget, who was a finalist last year. And she said it would be fun, there would be challenges, and I love a challenge, but I didn't know what was in store. I was pretty conscious of my actions before PGC. I mean, I brought reusable grocery bags to the grocery store, and I took takeout containers to restaurants, and I rarely ever used straws, but I was so wrong about my actions. I didn't even know what sustainability meant until it came up in my AP Environmental Science class. The textbook defines it as using enough resources for your generation while leaving enough for future generations. And what I learned from PGC was that it's so much more than that. It encompasses basically every aspect of your life. So my PGC experience was a little bit interesting. I mean, I was trying to juggle 6 AP classes, field hockey practices every night, running a club at school, and PGC. And being the stubborn person that I am, I didn't want to give any of them up, so my month of October was stressful. I'd work on PGC for hours at a time, trying to perfect every single challenge that I did, because I was so committed to making a change in my life. And I would work on them, I would start them after I'd finished homework, which would sometimes be at midnight or at 1 in the morning. And some of them required other people, and you can think of me sitting at my computer screen, alone in the dark, reading all these challenges and thinking, what am I going to do? But I didn't let anything stop me. One example of this is the body challenge for day 10. We had to have a party with other people talking about our body products, and I didn't know what I was going to do. So I had to get a little creative. So I had a me party. I gathered all of my favorite products, and I read all the chemicals that are trying to kill me, and I DIY'd them. And I made them out of organic and all natural ingredients. Conscious Sophie knew that despite all the obstacles, I can make a difference. One person can make a difference. It only takes one change, one person. So PGC kind of showed me the urgency that I had to spread my vision of change to everyone. I mean, I started a marine conservation club at my school. I talked to local restaurants about going straw-free and having less plastic in their restaurants. And I even wrote a letter to my senator. And I knew that I could make my city a better place to live. And I was committed to making my city a better place to live, no matter the obstacles. That's what I took away from PGC. No matter the circumstances, everyone in here can make a change. It only takes one small change. So imagine if everyone in the world, all 8 billion people almost, said it's one straw. It's just one. Think about that, all of the people. Just think about it for a moment. That's billions of straws ending up in the streets, in the ocean, in our environment. And it's the small changes that can make a difference, like this one. And I've seen these changes through PGC in my community. An example of this is when my friends, throughout the month of October, and still today, they send me pictures of them drinking through their reusable straws or bringing cups to Starbucks or any coffee shop. And I'm so proud of them because they wanted to show me what change they're making in their lives. And I knew then that I was making a change too. Another example of this is my non-GMO party I had with my neighbors. So after watching the video about GMOs and talking a little bit and eating some amazing food, they took pictures of all the food that we ate, and they went home to their parents. And 2 weeks later, they came up to me, and they were so excited to tell me that they had bought non-GMO mac and cheese for the first time. And I was so proud of them because they were so happy to tell me, and I knew then that they were making a difference. So the Zero Waste Challenge, was a little bit interesting. I dragged my mom on a Saturday morning to the farmer's market, and we bought all of these floss and ingredients, and I brought them home, and I cooked in the kitchen. I made a butternut squash ravioli, and I pressed the pasta, and I made the filling, and it took me about 6 hours. And I really felt like the next guy in a garden. I mean, it was pretty impressive, and then I served it to my dad, and he loved it. And then I made and edited a video detailing my process. And after 3 hours of editing, I realized that I couldn't submit the challenge because I didn't submit the other challenges for that day. And even though I couldn't submit it, I learned that small changes in my life, like food, like waste, like reading directions, can have a big impact. And since the Zero Waste Challenge, my family has started a compost bin, and I'm happy to say that we've done well with it. So what I learned is that it's not about what you use or what you do, it's about what you don't do or what you don't use. All of that plastic, all of that food waste ends up on in our environment, in the oceans. It ends up in the air we breathe. It ends up in the soil that we use to grow our food, and puts chemicals everywhere. It's also about, I talked about this earlier, it's also about what you don't do. I could be the most knowledgeable environmental scientist there is. I could publish papers on climate change. I could talk about how we're in mass extinction right now. But if I don't do anything with that information, what good is it? So how can Nawal and I, my team member, inform but also mobilize as individuals and as a team? How can we create the biggest ripple effect the world has ever seen? And the answer, I have no idea. But what I do know is that we can do something. We are doing something just by being here. There's no end to this story. This is just the beginning of sustainability. This is just the beginning of the green movement. I will not stop learning, stop informing, stop educating, stop changing my life and helping others change theirs until I can see the effects, until there is a drawdown. Because each action, when multiplied, can produce something amazing. It's the ripple effect. We all know that. One action leads to another, and another, and another. There are concrete things I've already mentioned that I'm doing to spread the word about sustainability. And that's what got me here. That's what you've seen throughout those 30 days in October. But our actions have the power to multiply. We can start a chain reaction in our community onto the world. In the words of John F. Kennedy, one person can make a difference, and every person should try. So are you willing to make a difference? Thank you.